Hi, I'm Toby Hodges from Yachting World, and this is the Elan Impression I-43. And we're sailing here for European Yacht of the Year trials on a lovely sunny day off Barcelona, Port Ginesta. We got an ugly bit of sea, sort of 1 to 2 meter waves coming from all sorts of directions, and only about 8 to 10 knots of breeze at the moment. But we've got this reaching sail up, and we're making the best of it that we can. So you might have seen I did a full tour of this boat at the Dusseldorf Boat Show in January 2023. So this is hull number 1, which is about a year old now, and they've brought it here to Spain where it will stay, and we got the chance to sail it here. So we got this reaching sail up. You can see already from here they've got upgraded laminate sails on this, fully buttoned mainsail, and an overlapping Genoa. But in general, the boat is set up, it's Elan's bread and butter, this mid-size impression range. It's set up for family cruising, ease of handling, ease of motion, plenty of space and volume, and yeah, it's just a nice yacht to be aboard in Mediterranean waters, and something that you can appreciate in this not very nice seaway is the soft motion. So it's still plenty of rocker in this hull shape, and there's a nice motion through the water. It's nice and gentle. We're currently beam reaching here in about 8 knots true, really, and making about the best of the apparent wind that we can. So we're making about between sort of 5.5 and 6.5 knots, depending on when you're on with the waves. And it's much better fun going this way than into them. You can see from the cockpit here, they've retained a really nice deep coamings and coach roof, high coach roof there, so you get a good sized backrest, you get a good protection in this cockpit itself, and the twin tables as well. So you know, you can lift one side up, you can join them together, you can make a big sunbathing platform on either side, and L-shaped seating around that. So it's a good size cockpit for a 3 or 4 cabin boat, and around 60% of these are 4 cabin so far. In terms of the cockpit layout, then yeah, you can have 2 winches. This one has 4, and optional powered winch here as well, which means that you can not really break a sweat on pulling up any halyards, because you've also got the main sheet to here as well. So that grey one's the main, easy to trim that, and then have your head sail sheets led aft to control from the pedestals. Here you have tail locker on the port side, well, and the starboard, same on the starboard. This side has the shore power in it as well. This one's gone for the options of a grill under here, and then a sink on the starboard side. And obviously you've got fold down bathing platform, undo the push pit rails there to go out onto that, and then you have a huge locker under here for life raft and other kit as well, plus 2 shallow bench lockers underneath the cockpit seats themselves. See, you got a life raft canister under there, plus room for the fuel, for the tender and bosun's good, hose, etc. Moving down into the interior on the Elan as we come into harbour here. I won't give you a full tour, I've done that before, we'll link to that. But you can see here it's a pretty different one. And that's because Elan and Pininfarina, basically the Italian styling agency, went for one finish, this rustic oak finish it's called, and that for me helps it really stand out. I think it's has a bit of a Marmite reaction. People either really like it or they don't. I do, because it helps show a bit of what Elan do differently to other big volume manufacturers, and that's to use a lot of solid wood and their carpentry skills. So yeah, the knotted oak is deliberate. It's a cheaper cut of oak than using the grain, where you can see all the long grain of it, and that's because that's what they use on their performance or on their GT line. So they wanted this line to look different, and obviously it's built to a price as well and sold at a price. So what's different on this? That is as standard. Is not a chart table. It's a big storage unit. They've now increased the length of these handrails up here, which you're going to want because there isn't really any bracing here at the 4.5 galley. But what you can't see here is this table works quite well because it's massive, and no, there's no handle on it, no, there's no gimbals, it's no fiddles, sorry, it's flat, but it's quite simple to use to fill in as a big berth. So those legs just come out, and there's shorter legs for that to fill in for a giant sort of lounge bed type thing. And then there's also 2 oak chairs that go there, and they stow underneath this berth right here actually. So proper fold up oak chairs there, and those are the shorter legs. And if you didn't have the chart table, you'd end up gaining a big sort of wardrobe, such as this sort of size here, which you can see is quite large. So with this forward cabin, if you went for the 4 cabin, this is a 3 cabin 2 heads option. If you went for the 4 cabin option, that is where the 4th cabin would be. So you can see that in the head lining, and that would be a bunk cabin that goes in place of this, of the heads here, and you could have your second heads there where that cutout is instead of the stowage unit. As it is, plenty of natural light in here. You would have noticed the freeboard of the boat is pretty high, so you're getting, I'm guessing, 6.5 foot up to this forward berth. And there's the heads with separate shower screen enclosure in there as well. Good raised stowage behind these grey lockers in the galley. And beneath the work surface itself. Again, not fiddled though. So it's a spacious area to use when not at heel, for sure. And here's the aft heads with its own separate shower enclosure in there as well. Good natural light, good size. Again, loads of headroom throughout this main living area. And then the 2 aft cabins, same, really pretty good size. So you can see where they've improved on the older Impression range, because they've got modern beam carried aft, which allows for these big double berths in the aft cabin at this size of boat. And there's the other aft cabin. The sun lounge and cushions on there at the moment, but you can see aft access to get at the steering gear, and there's a big service tunnel between these cabins if you wanted to fit a generator or water maker. You see there's plenty of room in there in which to do so behind the engine bay itself, and both cabins have these side access panels into the engine room. Personally, I'd choose the chart table over a storage unit. I think there's plenty of stowage as there is, and always nice to have a chart table or a little home office area. Another thing Elans will have these days, these Cymarine Slovenian touchscreen panels showing the systems, and yeah, it's just a really smart instrument display system with good manual fuse access behind there as well. So if you do want to get at the fuses, still cast iron manual ones that are easy to turn off and on and identify and switch out. The companionway steps lift easily on gas struts, and there is the Yamaha. So this is the 80 horsepower, which is yeah, quite an upgrade over the 45 standard or 57 option as well. That's those people that do want to give it the onions and be able to motor at 9 knots. There it is. But access to what you need to get at really easy. Impeller, belt, filter changes, that sort of thing. And separators easy to see and maintain, especially with these side panels. Plenty of room above the engine itself. So if you didn't see the full tour we did, we'll link to that hopefully at about this stage now. Quick look here at the sail locker, now without the code sail in it, and gas locker there as well, but plenty of depth in there. With the chain locker, windlass, bowsprit and anchor roller further forward. So the Elan Impression starts at 309,000 euros ex VAT. The boat we're on with all the options, the upgraded engine and the sails, etc., around 380,000 ex VAT. Hope you enjoyed the quick sail. See you next time.